Hey everybody, let's take a look at Ragnarok, one of the more recent Bakuzetsu Colossal quests. It is pretty darn difficult, so it takes a lot of tries to do this. But party I have here is Nirai Kanai, Pandora in her Evo form, Queen Butterfly in her Evo form, that's important, I'll go over that later, and we got Nobunaga X Transcended. And so as you see, the drones had the blue skulls on them, so take them out by pinching in between them and everybody reshuffles their position. And that is the big gimmick, on top of the standard gimmicks that you need to worry about for the stage. You need to take out those blue skulls so that everybody is repositioned into a location where you can actually hit them. Because if you noticed at the start, they were pretty much off the screen, so you can't really access them. And to be able to do enough damage to take them out, you need to hit them at their weak point. And you do need to take out the same monsters at the same time. And because this is a colossal quest, the positioning of those weak points are kind of in a hard to reach position. It's not exactly straightforward. So you need to measure out your bounces and hope you get the right bounce. So as you can see, we got the Jorgamunders on top with the blue skulls, so we need to take those out first, and after that, that'll allow the Fenrir X's on the bottom to move up towards the middle of the screen. And keep in mind of the big countdown number. If that hits 0, you're pretty much dead. I suppose you might have a chance to survive if maybe you have a shield or a barrier up, but you should just assume that you're gonna be dead. So now, if you do notice that you're low on one counter, you can try to take them out, reset that counter so that you can keep going. But of course, there's that set of Fenrir X's on the bottom who will now move up. If those counters hit 0 or get really low, you really have no chance to get them as long as they're still in that bottom position. But luckily, I was able to get out those Jorgamunders and Nobunaga X doing her thing and taking them out in one shot. They will also heal themselves to full health, so you can't even weaken them down. You have to take them out in one shot. So that's why Pandora is really good. She will speed up if she hits a gravity barrier monster, which is basically everybody. And bringing someone like Sarasvati is really good because she has a speed up bump combo and can handle all of the gimmicks in the stage. So it is a pretty limited skill set, but as you can see, there are 2 farmable monsters here. Of course, Nirai Kanai is a little bit more on the difficulty side, but we've got Queen Butterfly here, who still has solid use. And the reason why you want to use the Evo form is that her Ascended form has slightly less HP, and it is just short of one-punching these monsters if you hit them in the weak point. And that difference is pretty big, because right, like I said, they will heal themselves to the max if you don't kill them in one shot. And requiring Queen Butterfly to hit the monster twice before it dies is a tall task. It's already tough enough as it is. To have to do it twice is pretty bad. But luckily we got Nirai Kanai there doing his thing, taking out the minions. So now we can focus all of our efforts onto Ragnarok. And if we don't take out those minions, they're gonna heal Ragnarok anyway, so you have to take them out before you can even think about focusing damage onto Ragnarok. Now, as you can see, there is a little bit of room under, actually there's a lot of room under Ragnarok in her pre-Evo form. That bottom space around where the legs are, it's open space. And you can see the weak point. That is not in the middle of Ragnarok. That is on the bottom border of Ragnarok. So you should think that there is a good amount of space. So trying to go in there in a diagonal trajectory is not a good idea. You're just going to fly right out. So that's why going a vertical in there is really the best way to get in there, I feel like, after my attempts on Ragnarok. Alright, stage 4, this is pretty darn annoying. You need to be able to get those 3 Fenrir X's somehow, and especially since that block is in the way on top, it's kind of difficult. I mean, of course you need to do this diagonal motion, maybe like 20-30 degrees, and just try and find your way to fit yourself in there. And yeah, unfortunately, Nobunaga kind of went vertical afterwards, so that made it difficult to get that right Fenrir X. And all the while, you need to keep track of those death counters. Ragnarok in the middle counter, that 9. We got the suitors on top at 6. And of course, since we're constantly killing these Fenrir X's, we're okay there. But if you start to see it get low, you might want to think about using strike shots. If you have anybody that has a command style strike shot, that would definitely be now would definitely be a good time to use it, because if you use it now, you have a chance to recovering it on the green bar, which is super important to have. But yeah, it's getting a little bit dicey. I am a little bit concerned. Of course, we don't want to use Queen Butterfly strike shot here, but luckily we were able to get rid of the Fenrir X's, so then the suitors will come down. And now we gotta try and get those weak points in the vertical position. Like I said, the positionings of these weak points are just so darn annoying. And I mean, I'm praying for luck here, and luckily I get it on my first try. And to be honest, if I didn't get it on this try, I would be pretty concerned, because now we only have 5 turns to take out Ragnarok. And so again, all of the weak points are going to be on the left side of Ragnarok, so you can get in there and try to do a bunch of damage, but you really need to stay flat to try and get in there. And unfortunately, no luck there. And so now we see there's 3 turns left before we're gonna die, and Ragnarok does this like barrage attack, and I don't think there's a way to avoid getting killed with that attack. So with this, you know, small amount of turns left, we gotta use Nobunaga's strike shot here. And luckily the multiplier for this strike shot is really high, so you know, Pandora getting that speed up inside of that left wall gap was really big, and luckily we were able to get past there. So don't be afraid to use your strike shot on that stage. Alright, battle 5, again, we gotta take out the Fenrir X's on top, and this, it's a little annoying. You really have a high chance of getting stuck in between those Fenrir X's if you don't angle it right. So yeah, luckily I got that on the first try, but that is definitely an area where you can get stuck a lot. Pandora, we're just hoping for that speed up is good enough to hit the weak point enough times. Just a little bit short, didn't really get it on the right side cleanly, I guess. But I mean, her bomb combo is pretty good, so if we position that right, we might be able to get some lucky hits there. Oh, okay, well, again, a little bit short, but just keep track of that death counter. We got 5 on the right and 8 for Ragnarok, so hopefully we clear, and we did with Nobunaga X, so that is great. So now again, similar to battle, was it 3? Just try and go vertical and oops, don't miss your gauge shot, but try and get in between the bottom wall and Ragnarok, and hope you're able to get a lot of damage in. Unfortunately, irregular bouncing. But that's about it. Once you clear the minions, another wasted turn. You just really gotta get under Ragnarok, and if you get in there, you're gonna do a lot of damage really quick. So it's just a matter of whether or not you can get in there. And luckily we've pushed Nirai Kunai in there, so that it should be a pretty easy turn here. Yeah, there we go. Look at all that weak point damage. 8 million. And so we just went from, oh my gosh, is this gonna work out, to, alright, I think I got this. And unfortunately, Pandora spitting out again. I don't know, that bottom left corner must be angled in a way that spills you out of there. And this was pretty scary. If QB didn't get in there, that was definitely game over. Maybe I should have strike shot it, but I don't know if that would have been enough. Maybe. Anyways, boss stage 1. We've got the 3 Jorgamunders on the right. We got to take care of them first. And again, this is a really easy location to just get stuck in between the Jorgamunders. And of course, you'll take out 2, but you need to take out all 3 at once. And if you notice, the Fenrir X's on the left, they have a pretty low cooldown before they go crazy. So We have to get them before 5 turns runs out, so we gotta do this in a pretty quick manner. And luckily, we were able to cleanly get those Jorgomunders out, so then everybody will move towards the middle. And this is also pretty annoying to get, because you need to bounce off the Fenrir X, maybe off Ragnarok, to bounce off the other X. And that's pretty tough. And you know, missing your gauge shot is also not good. And one thing to keep in note is that those flame balls, those craters, they actually hurt quite a bit. So, and I got really lucky there. I have no idea how QB got the weak point there, but it hit that Fenrir, was it Fenrir? In one shot and got rid of it. So I was not expecting to take out the Fenrirs that quickly on that turn, but hey, I will take that win for sure. And so now it's just a matter of getting in on the left side of Ragnarok and just punching that weak point as much as possible. And again, I don't know, just like that, the crater adds up. And you know, especially when you have monsters that have a speed up, you know, going over those fire pits over and over and over and over again really does hurt. Maybe it's only on the last stage where it hurts a lot, but I have this image of that fire pit being really damaging. Anyway, Nobunaga X doing her thing, and here we go. The second to last stage, probably one of the most annoying parts of this dungeon. And that's because you have 4 Fenrir X's in the middle, and their weak points are on the outside. So, like, Nirai Kanai is actually in a really good position, but unfortunately didn't get the right bounce off that top block set. So you weren't able to take out that last Fenrir. And that's the story about this stage. You're just gonna constantly be doing the stage over and over, trying to get the weak points. And I don't know, if you're not in the right position, I just don't know how you're supposed to get all 4 at the same time. So this is a great stage to use Nobunaga's strike shot, or anybody that has a command style strike shot. So really, I mean, can I do anything? I just don't know. I don't know how to do this without the strike shot. So luckily, Oda's second level strike shot is ready exactly on her turn, and she has power up, so maybe we can do additional damage to the suitors. But 45-degree angle of chaos, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and luckily we got all 4 of those Fenrir X's down, and just a little bit more for that suitor, so we could have skipped having to deal with them, but that's alright. Let's not get too greedy. So keep in mind that we have 7 turns until Ragnarok goes crazy, so we're hoping to take out the suitors as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Nirai Kanai wasn't in the best position, so that's fine, but let's see what Pandora can do. Ooh, okay, that was pretty lucky. She wasn't in the greatest position too, but luckily we were able to punch them out, so now we can focus all our work onto Ragnarok. Again, the weak point is always on the right side of Ragnarok, so as long as you can get in there in a and so we're hoping to bounce off the wall, pick the boot up, and stay on the right side. And well, unfortunately, a kind of an irregular bounce at the end. Would have been nice if she Nirai Kanai was stuck in there. Yeah, there's no way that was going in. Not sure what I was thinking, but kind of worked out on the right side. And last turn before we die, so might as well strike shot. And luckily that bash did its thing, and probably not much more use for QB strike shot, so that was probably, you know, the ideal timing for that. And here we go, pretty lucky. As you saw, I got pushed into being between those Jorgomunders on the bottom right for Nobunaga X, and that is pretty big. Oh, we can avoid having to deal with the Jorgomunders when everybody shifts around, so we can focus our efforts onto Suitor. And the big thing, one of these counters, I forget which one, they will revive a whole bunch of minions. And so really it's a race against the clock. We really need to try and take out the suitors as soon as possible to allow us to take out the Jorgelmunders and then take out the clone of Ragnarok. And if you don't do that fast enough, you're going to be sent back to the suitor stage. And honestly, you're probably going to run out of time if that happens, which really sucks. So we want to get rid of these suitors as soon as possible so that at least the Jorgelmunders don't come back up. And unfortunately, I'm struggling a little bit here. And I mean, honestly, I haven't gotten to the stage. Actually, this is the first time I went to the final stage, I believe. Yeah, like I always died previous to here, so I don't really have that much experience with this stage. But you know, we're down. You know, the counter for the clone Ragnarok's kind of getting bad, so you know what? Screw it. Strike shot on the suitors. Speed up, attack up on the class of suitors, and luckily that's enough to get rid of them. So now the Ragnaroks will change positions, and that is super lucky. Look at that on the right side. Nobunaga X is right up against the weak point, and if you notice there's blocks on the right side, so normally you'd have to kill the clone before the blocks go down. And so Pandora's strike shot, we were able to power down the clone and then power down and defense down the real Ragnarok. That is amazing. And so yeah, okay, this is a stage where the craters really hurt. But we got Nobunaga strike shot right up against the weak point, defense down. And done. Woo! Now normally you shouldn't be able to get into the weak point until you take down the clone. But by some miracle, Nobunaga X was pushed onto the block area, stayed in the block area, and just pummeled that weak point for the win. Whew. I don't know if I can do this again, to be honest. That was pretty darn lucky at the end, but oh, was I happy when that kill happened. So whew. But anyways, yeah, that was Ragnarok. It is a tough quest. It's a lot of luck too. I feel like you can try and figure out the pathing, but oof, is it tough. But anyways, thank you for watching. That is it for today. Hope you enjoyed that, and